What's good, YouTube? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, undefeated lightweight Mexican superstar, junior welterweight titles contender, King Ryan Garcia, who is 23 wins, no losses, no draw, 19 wins by way of knockout. He is 24 years of age, 5'10" with a 70-inch arm reach. Ryan Garcia, we know in April, is going to fight undefeated 3-division world champion who simultaneously held the WBA titles in 130, 135, and 140. Superstar boxer Gervonta Davis, who is 27 wins, no losses, no draw, 25 big wins by way of knockout, 28 years of age, 5'5" with a 67-inch arm reach. They're going to fight in April. And Gervonta Davis, he announced that he's going to fight January 7th against WBA super featherweight undefeated world champion, Dominican star boxer in Hector Garcia. So he's going to face off against Hector Garcia, and he states that that's going to be January 7th in Washington, D.C. So Ryan Garcia states that he too wants to have another fight, okay, in January as well, before he fights Gervonta Davis. And now I told you guys, I gave you guys a few names that are possible opponents that he could possibly face off against, right? And opponents that would be, you know, not too much of a threat to derail the fight with Gervonta Davis, okay? And Ryan Garcia is listening to the fan base, and the fans are asking Ryan Garcia to fight former unified lightweight world champion Australian star boxer George Kambosos Jr., who is 20 wins, 2 losses, no draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. He is 29 years of age, 5'9" with a 68-inch arm reach. So the fans are asking Ryan Garcia to fight against George Kambosos Jr., who's coming off of back-to-back losses to undefeated, undisputed lightweight world champion superstar boxer Devin the Dream Haney. Devin Haney is now 29 wins, no losses, no draw, 15 wins by way of knockout. He's 24 years of age, 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. He beat George Kambosos back-to-back fights in Australia in George Kambosos' backyard. George Kambosos Jr., he shocked the world when he defeated former unified lightweight world champion superstar boxer Teofimo Lopez via split decision. And so he inserted himself in this 4-king conversation, George Kambosos did, right? And so with that said, he said that it was the 4 kings and he was the emperor. And so Ryan Garcia responds to the fans saying, you should fight George Kambosos. And he says, yeah, I should fight George Kambosos. To which Gervonta Davis goes on the same post and he responds, don't fight George Kambosos Jr. because George Kambosos Jr. is going to knock you out, right? And then he put LOL. He said George Kambosos is going to knock him out. And that's going to upset the apple cart. Now, Tank didn't say that's going to upset the apple cart. That's me paraphrasing. But he just said that he's going to knock him out. Then he put the LOL. And to which Ryan Garcia then responds, yeah, I will knock him out, right? And, you know, like he will knock out George Kambosos Jr. So Tank Davis, he responds to Ryan Garcia and he tells him, shut up. And you know the rest. The word he used to describe Ryan Garcia. Yeah, shut up. You know, but I thought about it, and that would actually be a good fight. George Kambosos and Ryan Garcia. Okay, George Kambosos is a big 30-pounder, a 35-pounder, excuse me. Ryan Garcia is one of the quote-unquote 4 kings. This is an opportunity for Ryan Garcia to, you know, to one-up, outdo, and outstage Devin Haney, who's his rival, right? So this is an opportunity for Ryan Garcia to do that, right? Beating George Kambosos Jr. Now, George Kambosos, again, he just lost back-to-back decisions. The first fight, Devin Haney, he just completely shut out George Kambosos, won every single round against George Kambosos and just shut him out, right? And the second fight, Devin Haney's approach, I told you guys, the fight is not going to be much different, but Devin Haney decided that he was going to sit down on his punches much more than he did in the first fight, and look to get Kambosos out of there. He was going to, you know, let it, the first fight, he just used the jab, control the pace of the fight, control the distance of the fight, secured the victory and became undisputed. In this fight, in the second fight, Devin Haney, he was sitting down on his punches. He was trying to get Kambosos out of there, and there was a few times I thought he was actually going to be successful in getting Kambosos up out of there, right? So with that said, you know, this would be a good fight for Ryan Garcia, George Kambosos. And I'm sure George Kambosos, they before he fought Devin Haney, he was even mentioning possibly fighting Ryan Garcia. So, you know, this will be a good fight for George Kambosos to have 4 marquee fights back to back to back to back. Fighting Teofimo Lopez, beating him, fighting Devin Haney twice, losing twice, and then getting the opportunity to upset the apple cart and fighting Ryan Garcia and beating him, and then put your name, you beat Ryan Garcia if you George Kambosos. You beat Ryan Garcia with his herky-jerky style. Then guess what? Kambosos, you on the verge of getting another marquee fight, right? Because now the fans going to call for him to fight Gervonta Tank Davis if he beat Ryan Garcia, right? So, you know, and George Kambosos is with Lou DiBella. This is an easy fight to be made, right? He don't have a network barrier. He's not obligated to Showtime or ESPN or DAZN. He don't have a barrier. You understand? And he's a guy that's always in shape. So I'm certain that George Kambosos, you know, now he done drained the well dry of fighting in Australia. So he coming off back-to-back losses. He made significant money fighting Devin Haney. I'm sure he's not going to be looking to break the bank. And he's not going to ask Ryan Garcia to fight him in Australia because he don't have no leverage, right? This is the perfect fight. And he'll fight, I'm sure he'll fight Ryan Garcia at a catchweight, if not at 140, right? So, you know, I think this is the perfect fight. He herky-jerky style. George Kambosos he doesn't have big punching power. He dropped Teofimo Lopez because he has good timing. He timed Teofimo Lopez and he dropped Teofimo Lopez because he has good timing. He's not a big puncher. So with that said, you know, he can definitely be competitive, and Ryan Garcia gets an opportunity to, you know, upstage Devin Haney and make a statement, and Teofimo Lopez for that matter, right? Because he got a rivalry with Teofimo Lopez. He's one of the 4 kings. You understand? It's Gervonta Tank Davis, Devin Haney, Ryan Garcia, and Teofimo Lopez. So he gets an opportunity to knock out George Kambosos, something Devin Haney didn't do, and to beat George Kambosos, something Teofimo Lopez didn't do. So he gets an opportunity, and then go into a big fight with Gervonta Tank Davis and be able to beat him. This just makes sense to fight George Kambosos. And again, like I said, I think Ryan Garcia beats George Kambosos. I think he actually stops George Kambosos. Styles make fights. You understand? His ability to go to the body, his hand speed, his size, and his aggression, I think he'll beat George Kambosos. I think he'll actually stop George Kambosos. Now, Devin Haney, he didn't stop George Kambosos because styles make fights. You know, Floyd Mayweather didn't stop Miguel Cotto. It was actually a tough fight. Manny Pacquiao stopped Miguel Cotto. But that don't mean that Ryan Garcia will beat Devin Haney or, you know, is more impressive. You know, it's like Floyd Mayweather stopping Ricky Hatton in the 10th round and Manny Pacquiao stopping him in the 2nd or 3rd round, whatever round it was. You understand? So, you know, just styles make fights. Different styles make different fights, different outcomes. So I think that Ryan Garcia stopped George Kambosos, and that's a statement. It makes, he stops George Kambosos. It makes the Tank fight even bigger than what it already is. It makes it even bigger than it already is. As far as George Kambosos knocking out Ryan Garcia, I don't see that. He's awkward. He's not a southpaw. He's not a big puncher. He has quick hands. He has good timing. He's going to make it a competitive fight. But I think that Ryan Garcia will catch him. And in between, he'll make him. George Kambosos is herky-jerky. I think that he'll make him hesitant. And I think that Ryan Garcia will stop George Kambosos. It's going to build up the Devin Haney fight in the future, because he's going to use that as motivation and say, I did something Devin Haney couldn't do. Right. So it just makes sense. It just makes all the sense in the world. And again, like I said, George Kambosos don't have any leverage, so he's not going to demand $10 million. He's not a champion. He's coming off back-to-back losses, and he can't demand that he fight in Australia. It just makes sense. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. And George Kambosos is in shape, so we are already in November, and which means that he will have 2 months, you know, to get. He's already working out and already training, so he'd be ready to go into a fight with Ryan Garcia, especially if it's at a catchweight of 140. It meaning he ain't even got to cut too much weight. Oh, that's very doable. He don't have a promoter that's going to stand in the way. It just makes sense. So let's see how this unfolds and plays out. But that's all I got for y'all. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. You haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notification. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all in one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure y'all like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.